BigGunner81 Live, everyone. BigGunner81 Live is brought to you by BAT Arms and Eggleston Munitions. BAT Arms is a federally licensed firearms dealer located in Plainville, Illinois, with hours by appointment. They offer a large assortment of firearms and accessories, including many unique items to fit your shooting needs. To find out more about BAT Arms, visit their website at batarms.com. And if you're a reloader, I suggest taking a look at what Eggleston Munitions has to offer. Eggleston Munitions is a manufacturer of polymer-coated projectiles, which offer the benefits of jacketed projectiles at a price point much more affordable. And the best part, they're made right here in the U.S., located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So check them out at egglestonmunitions.com. Of course, the links will be in the description below. So before we begin the show today, I just want to address something really quick from last week's show. Basically, I've gotten some mixed feedback on the show. Obviously, I make mistakes. It's going to happen. We had an abundance of guests, which limited the effectiveness of being able to speak with each of them in an organized manner. I found that finding guests can actually be a challenge at times, and often life gets busy and in the way, and it easily becomes all or none situation. Having said that, I feel there were some positive things to come out of last week's show, learning experience, if you will, and some of our guests were able to network together on their own projects. I'd also like to thank our guests from last week and our panel members as well for the willingness to participate, as well as their understanding in that. Jacob Herman from Century Arms, pro shooter Jesse Tischhauser, John Patton from the Gun Collective, and Jimmy Labita from Edible Sights. A few suggestions I received were to, one, either take the video down or edit it to improve it. And I thought about it, and you get what you see with me. I'm not going to hide stuff. I'm transparent in that manner. So you either like it or you don't. If you do like it, share it with your friends. Definitely. Either way, it's going to be a learning experience for next time around. So I'll go ahead and close the screen share here, and we'll start the show. So we have a few guests here. Actually, we have one guest right now, one possibly on the way. We've got Yankee Marshal here, and of course our weekly cast and crew here, panelists, if you will. Patrick from One Shot Kill It Media, and Jake from MGS Firearms. So I want to say
how's it going, guys?
Thank you.
I just want to go on record as saying last week was really unprofessional, and I would never want to be part of a podcast where people scream at each other or talk over each other or make a lot of noise.
Yes, I understand that. So that's why we're working to.
Which means I would never be on any podcast I've ever hosted because we spend 80% of the time screaming over each other.
Yes, that is the problem when you have more than like a few people on, definitely. So we kind of learned from that.
I consider it a problem. I actually consider it entertainment. I mean, I get so freaking bored sitting watching a gun chat where everyone goes, this caliber does this at 28 yards, and this caliber does that at 28 yards. I'd rather hear someone insult somebody else's mother and then fight about what they think is best,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's a good thing I'm on.
Yeah, I'm sure we can work that out.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yankee, tell us a little bit about your channel. We were discussing it beforehand that basically that you're not really a gun channel technically.
No, I guess not technically. I kind of became a gun channel by default. I'm not really I'm not, like Military Arms channel, that's a gun channel. That is Guns and Ammo magazine brought into the modern age. That is where you go when you want to learn something about guns. My channel is where you go when you want to learn what some opinionated loudmouth thinks about some guns that he owns. But, I don't really get into the industry. I'm not considered an insider. A lot of people think that, oh, you go to SHOT Show and you've got a lot of subs and people watch you, and so you're an insider. I am as far from being an insider in the gun community and the gun industry as you could be. In fact, last year at SHOT Show, I remember there was a big kind of an insider podcast going on while I was in my hotel room watching Walking Dead, and they were making fun of the fact that I was in my hotel room watching Walking Dead. But at the end, the whole point I made to them was, you're sitting in a podcast talking about what I'm doing while I had no care what you were doing or clue what you were doing. So who was really worse off there, you worrying about what I'm doing or me not knowing what you're doing?
Exactly. Nice. So what got you started with doing the YouTube stuff?
It's an easy story what got me started with YouTube. I had a Smith & Wesson 645. I don't know if a lot of people know what that is. It's an older generation stainless steel semi-automatic Smith & Wesson 45 caliber gun. It's kind of like a 1911 that's double action. And a friend of mine said, how do you get the slide off this damn thing? And I kept trying to tell him, and he couldn't figure it out. So he said, well, make me a video and put it on YouTube. And I'm like, what's YouTube? Because I'm totally savvy when it comes to the internet. When people ask me how does the internet work or computers work, my answer always involves elves and fairies. Because I
what Al Gore invented it.
So I said, okay, show me how. And I had one of those little flip cameras. So I took a video of me taking the slide off of it, posted it online. He looked at it, figured it out. I didn't think anything of it. And then, like 6 months later, I come back and I've got like all these messages on YouTube. And I'm like, why are people sending me messages? And it's because people had seen that video about where I disassembled the 645, and they're like, when you go do another video? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I wasn't going to, but anytime people listen to me, I'll talk. So I made other videos and other videos and other videos, and it just kind of snowballed.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. Sorry, Pete's actually trying to get on, and I gotta remind him to use the equal sign with it as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that either at first. So.
Yeah. Because for some reason, wherever you click the link, to join the chat, it just it won't work if you don't actually copy the full thing.
Yeah, I'm not good with that stuff. Like I said the other night, on gunchannels.com, which is like I said, the watering hole for all gun stuff. If you like to talk about guns, go to gunchannel.com. On gunchannels.com, I actually have a channel where my podcasts are posted. Until to this day, I cannot find it unless GWeb sends me a direct link to it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still learning that as well. Gun channels is a whole new thing on top of the learning how to use the YouTube stuff effectively. And it is kind of interesting, like you said, a watering hole. People just gather and just chat, and it's kind of like, yeah, if you just want to hang out, you got nothing else to do, yeah, but it's fun.
Wealth of knowledge. I mean, you can find someone on there that knows the answer to any gun question you ever want to ask. You
Absolutely.
can find that any day of the week, but you can also find 80s dance music, sing-offs on there.
Yeah, there's all types of So, yeah, in fact, I learned something really interesting like the other day from them about my Sig Sauer Mosquito, about one of the guys was modifying his a little bit.
Oh, did you learn that it's a piece of shit? Is that what you learned?
No. I learned that from the get-go. I learned that after I bought it. That didn't take anyone telling me that. But learning how to modify it to maybe improve it, that's kind of cool. But, yeah, anyhow.
You know what gun is a piece of shit? Is the Walther P22. That's even worse than the Sig Mosquito.
Well, and
the range that I worked at, I had a slide separated and smacked the dude right in the nose. He comes up with a bleeding nose. And thankfully he was just like, oh, it happens.
Yeah, and before anybody slams me for being a SIG hater, I love SIGs. People accuse me of being a SIG fanboy all the time, but the Mosquito is a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And looking back, honestly, now that I see that there's a 22 conversion kit for the 226, I would have rather went that route than buy the Mosquito if I wanted to play around with the 22. But I know you have a different feeling on 22s anyway. Isn't that right?
You mean, do I enjoy shooting 22s?
No, I thought as far as you had like a negative outlook on them in general, like there's no point in shooting a 22, it seemed almost.
Well, no, I don't really say there's no point. I mean, I enjoy I can appreciate the training aspect of them for young people or elderly people.
Okay.
I can appreciate that it's fun because they're cheap, but to me, I always describe shooting 22 as something I don't personally enjoy. I just don't get anything out of it. I don't have any of the things I enjoy from shooting 22 because a lot of people are going for accuracy. I'm not going for accuracy. I'm going for big booms and watching things shatter. And with 22, you don't get that. I always compare it to, I would rather shoot 45 for 20 minutes than 22 all day because I compare it to, would you rather have sex with a supermodel for 15 minutes or screw your pillow for a day and a half?
Yeah, I've heard you say that before.
Always what's the important part. So
it looks like, Pete, are you able to hear us?
I sure am, Rick. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? So I know I don't see your video, but that's okay if it doesn't work. You can still talk.
Saying it's on. Hey guys.
Yep. So we're talking with Yankee Marshal, David here, about his channel and so forth. That's when he kind of came in. I just noticed I was going back and forth with the email trying to help you out to get on here. Because I know sometimes you run into technical issues with people that are kind of just trying this out for the first time.
You mean slow learners?
Well, I wasn't going to say that. No.
I clicked on the link instead of copying it, so sorry about that, guys.
That's what we found. You know, don't feel bad. The first time we did this, Patrick tried to get on, and he's like, "Oh, it won't work. It won't work." And it took like 20 minutes. I'm like, "Wait, are you copying it? Because it's missing. It's leaving out the equal sign at the end." And so we figured that out.
Well, it didn't help that you sent the email in a type font that was made for like mice or something. It was such a tiny, tiny little type font that I couldn't even read the thing.
Yeah, that is true. But I did send it to you through the actual Google Plus or whatever too. So I don't know. Whatever. So anyway, Patrick and.
So what else is new and exciting on gun channels? So I joined gun channels myself too, not too long ago, and I'm just kind of getting in the process of loading some of my content on there and trying to just start talking to people on there a little bit when I have the time to do it. Anything that you guys could suggest with the with gun channels, other than like maybe just the chat rooms? Do you reach out to people directly sometimes? Just say, hey, this is what I do. How did you guys start using that overall?
In gun channels, there's different ways you can interact with people. If you really want to get to know people, the live chat is the best way to do it, because what better way to get to know somebody than talking to them face to face? And that's basically what we're doing here through a internet medium here. You can do other things. I mean, like I say, it's like a library of knowledge for anything gun-related. There's videos, there's Instagram pictures, there's little essays, there's everything you want to find gun-related. But to me, the main aspect of gun channels is the social.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Facebook of guns, or gun people, in other words.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like. I really do like it so far, but like Big Gunner said too, it's there's a little bit of a learning curve there, so I'm just trying to get that figured out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Yankee, what kind of projects do you have in the works right now as far as videos and things going?
Well, I'm kind of in a transitional phase right now. I am at the point where I decided I need to step up my channel a little bit. Not content-wise. My content will still suck. But I need to have better cameras, better sound, because I want to move on to some other things that I want to do that I think I can make a bigger impact with. And I'm in the process of transitioning over into doing that, not stopping YouTube, but doing things in addition to YouTube that gets me to where I'm not just preaching to the choir as much. Maybe I'm reaching the people I want to reach. Because when I started off on YouTube, I'm like one of the few liberal people that has a YouTube channel that's really popular with gun people.
Right.
And so I try to reach... But I try to reach the liberal people that really aren't into guns more than I try to reach the gun people. And I want to do other things that kind of give me that opportunity more while still doing the YouTube stuff, of course.
Yeah, I noticed in some of your pictures recently, you're like reworking your garage or whatever it looked like, with like a green screen in the background, like you painted the wall or something.
Yeah, I've just been in my garage forever, just in a basic garage with the garage door right there and wind blowing through my hair every time the breeze blew outside. And, rats braiding my leg hair when I looked down because the mice would get in the garage. But I decided, I'm just going to wall off half my garage, finish it, soundproof it, make an area where I can actually do my videos. And before, I could only film videos between like 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., after everything quieted down and before the birds came out and started chirping, because you could hear everything. Wow. Now I've got a quiet place where I can film anytime I want, and I'm not freezing to death in the winter and roasting in the summer. So now I've got the workspace. Now I'm going to work on having better sound equipment, better cameras, etc.
Okay, very cool. Speaking of which, with improving things and doing different things and all the equipment stuff, I've noticed as channels grow and the success and everything happens along with it and all that. What do you really attribute your success on YouTube to exactly?
There's absolutely nothing to attribute my success to be honest. When people ask me, what do I need to do to have a channel? What do I need to do to have a channel? The only thing I can tell people, when you want to have a channel, there's two things you should do. You should try to think of what do people want to see, and then think of what do you want to do, and only do the things you want to do. Just completely disregard what you think people want to see, because you could be totally wrong. Just do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. There's a turning point in my channel. Like up until a certain point, I was just desktop reviews of guns. Because I'm mechanically pretty good with a gun. I'm a pretty good gunsmith. I can refinish guns. I've taken guns that look like they were about ready to throw away and make them look brand new. That's my one skill really with guns. It ain't shooting them. It's fixing them. So I just started doing things like that. But then there was a turning point in my channel where I said, fuck it. I'm just going to make my channel be stupid because I want to do stupid. So I did this video called Tactical Carry Condition Butterscotch, Tactical Butterscotch.
Okay.
And that was the first video I ever had that got a couple thousand views in a day.
That's pretty cool.
kind of turned my channel around, and I was like, see, people do want to watch when I act like an idiot. I always assumed no one would want to watch when I act like an idiot. So there shows you. I don't know what people want to see. You don't know what people want to see.
Exactly. I've heard many different things from many different people. Some that have channels with way more subscribers than I do, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like one person in particular had said it like this, basically that if you put it out there, there's probably going to be somebody that will kind of like watch whatever it is you're doing. Like there'll be some audience out there for you, whether it's a big audience or not, who's to say, but you know, there will always be somebody out there that thinks likely as you do and kind of wants to see what you're doing and that kind of stuff.
And it really still surprises me because I just did my first patch ever. I've been being pestered by people to do a patch for years. And I thought, well, okay, well, I'll do a patch, you know. I called a patch company, arranged to have 100 patches made. And I was like, you know, I'll try to sell all 100 of them. And within like a week, I had sold 1,500 patches. So there are obviously people out there that pay attention that actually do like you. Even though they don't know you, they like you, and they want to be part of what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. I've found that. I mean, I have several people have contacted me about different things. One of the neatest things I've had lately was people that'll come up to me and say, hey, you know, you're BigGunner81. Hey, you know, I've got this gun or whatever. Do you want to do a review on it? You want to take it and check it out and make a video? And I'm like, sure, why not? You know. So it could be anything actually that they have as far as firearm related gear and stuff. But
yeah, people are a little reluctant to do that with me because they know that if I don't like it, I will tell people how bad it sucks. Because like I say, I'm not beholden to any companies. I'm not a gun channel, so I don't have to say, well, you know, Canik sent me this gun that's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life, and it's actually a dangerous design if you ask me. But if I say that, they're going to take me off their T&E list, and I'm not going to get to make my future videos.
Right, and you know what, that's the thing too. Like me and Patrick have talked about this before about what do you do, and you know, a company gives you a product, and there's an issue with it, and that kind of stuff. And ultimately, what we feel very similarly on is, it's who we're doing the video for is the people that are watching it, not the company. You know, if there's an issue with it, you go back to the company and you help them make the product better.
But you do have to remember that there are people out there that want to see every new product. They want you to show it to them. They want you to be a magazine. And then, but to do that, you have to do it in a professional manner. And you can present a gun that you might not like, but like Mac from Military Arms Channel, Tim, he's like perfect at that. He'll be like, here it is. Take a look at it. Wow, it shot. And then maybe you should look at it. He won't tell you it's good, it's bad. He'll just show it.
Gotcha. Just give you a basic overview of it, not give you the highs and lows.
But then you'll have these people that in the audience that think it must be an awesome gun because Tim just showed it to me, and then they'll get on me because like, you slammed a gun that Tim said was awesome. I was like, no, Tim just showed it to you. You assumed it was awesome. It's not Tim's fault that you're such a poor consumer that you don't know the difference between an advertisement and a review.
So to switch, I'm sorry, you got a question you want to ask, Patrick?
Oh, just to speak on that, I had the exact same thing happen to me the other day. It was somebody who looked at one of my Vortex Optic reviews, and it was funny. The only thing they looked at was my video, and then they were just like, click, buy it. And they didn't look into it, realizing that it was a 3x power scope, right? 3-time power, or 3-power scope. And then they were pissed that their front sight was blurry when they tried to co-witness. It's just like, well, do a little research. Like, I'm not the end-all, be-all of everything about this product. You know, Vortex doesn't pay me. All I do is, you know, throw some stuff together whenever I see it, or give people an honest review of how I think a product works. So it's kind of funny how people can be, like you said, Yankee Marshal, you know, just a very poor consumer.
Right.
Yeah, they don't understand, you know. And I was talking to one of the owners of one of the biggest gun channels on YouTube just today, and I was making the point, like, what bothers me most is that people want to see everything. They want to see every gun that comes out, and they want you to show it to them. But then, if they find out that you're actually working with companies to do that, they get mad and say you're biased. No, I'm being professional because you have to maintain those relationships to be able to show you the stuff you want. So they get mad at you for providing them the service that they want you to provide them because they think that, for one, they think you shouldn't make a nickel off your work you put into your channel. And two, it goes even further than that. They think you should go fucking broke buying everything that you want to show them because they somehow deserve a free review of that gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, to switch gears a little bit, because I know you don't have a lot of time yet, Yankee. One thing I want to ask you about too is, like, as far as the self-defense shooting and stuff that you do, you know, what really got you into do training with firearms and that kind of aspect of it, the self-defense aspect?
The only thing that got me into firearms as a self-defense aspect is I've had to defend myself with a firearm in my life. I have law enforcement background and a military background.
That was a question I had for you too, actually.
And those are my main training sources for firearms. And I come from a family that's relatively firearm friendly. But I've had to defend myself with a firearm twice in my life, outside of the line of duty.
And how often do you think people should be practicing and going out and doing training and stuff like that?
I'm one of these people that if you ask me, every year hundreds of thousands of people successfully defend themselves with a firearm. Every year, out of every 100,000, maybe 5 of them had any formal training. So I'm not going to tell people that you have to have formal training if you're going to defend yourself with a firearm. Little old ladies successfully defend themselves with firearms against big bad men every day of the week successfully. So you cannot argue that it's a requirement. Now, will I say it's a good idea to be as good with something as you can be? Yeah, it's a good idea to be as good with something as you possibly can be. If you can go to the range twice a week, go to the range twice a week. For one, it's fun, and 2, you won't even know how much better you're getting.
That's very true. Well, how often do you yourself actually practice?
I try to go once a week, but that doesn't always work with family and kids and everything. But I try to go once a week. And unfortunately, ranges around here are so expensive that it's getting, with the price of ammo and the price of getting into a range, it's so expensive to go shooting. So you have to pick and choose, and I really have to have something I want to shoot. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But I think everyone should get some training if they can. But I'm never going to tell someone, I see people on the internet all the time say, you shouldn't pick that gun up until you've had this many hours of professional training. I'm like, kiss my ass. A little old lady just shot a burglar 2 days ago and managed to not blow her head off. So therefore, I think any common sense individual, can do the same thing.
I'm going to weigh in just really quickly on the idea of like not needing training. Like your average common sense individual, yes, they can figure out how to operate a firearm successfully on their own. But having worked in the firearms retail environment for 10 years now, I can legitimately say to you that there are people that need something. Some kind of training to like teach them what direction that they should even fucking point the gun.
Well, there are people that need
because like there are customers that you get like if you don't have a legitimate like concern for denying them the sale, you can't deny them a sale. But when you get a for here in the state of Wisconsin, we have a background a state background check form for handguns. When you get to the question, what is your country of citizenship, and they continually try and answer Milwaukee, you kind of think that, maybe you could use some training. Most, quite a few people can, figure out how to safely manipulate a firearm. But there are some stupid fucking people in this world, and unfortunately, without being labeled, being discriminatory, they're gonna get the gun.
Well, I'm gonna say a couple things about that. One, there's some people that you could train them for a fucking year, and they're still gonna be a dumbass, worthless, incapable person, no matter how much training you give them. So some of those people you see every day, they ain't no helping them. Trust me. You put them in a training room, most likely what you're gonna do is kill them or somebody next to them. But there are most people. Guns are pretty easy to figure out. It's you put your finger on this end and you don't point this end at yourself.
Yeah, well, that's that is common sense. Most people who don't participate in Russian roulette. But the truth is, I think what a more accurate thing to say would be, training doesn't need to be mandatory. Okay, but if you are a responsible, competent shooter, you will, at least
practice.
Well, not just practice, but attempt to learn to be a better shooter.
Yeah, and learn, practice. To me, it's more.
There are people out there. I'm not saying if you don't take a class with Chris Costa, you're gonna shoot yourself.
Here's the thing I'll tell you right off the bat. Like a class with Chris Costa, invaluable training, but it's more important to me that a first-time gun owner takes a class on basic safety than on how
absolutely.
How to act in a live fire situation, because chances are in their life they are never going to be in a live fire situation. They are never going to even be in a self-defense situation. but they're going to have to safely handle that gun every time they take it out of their safe, take it to the range, etc. So to me, the most important training is just teaching yourself how to safely handle the gun. Then if you want to go on to be the world's greatest gun ninja, more power to you, but it's not required.
I like that, the world's greatest gun ninja. So
I think, guys, I'd just like to weigh in real quick. I think part of it is a level of confidence in getting over some of the anxiety of having a firearm for a lot of people. And I'm with you guys, man. Some people are dumb and they're never going to get it, but for a lot of people that are decent people, they need to get over that anxiety and fear of a firearm.
Exactly.
The guy asked me today, he's like, I'm terrified. I want a gun, but I'm terrified of it. Am I ever going to get over that? I'm like, hopefully you will, because go with somebody, let them handle the safety aspect of the gun, let them teach you the safety aspects of the gun before you try to play with the gun. And I was like, once you see it in the hands of someone who knows how to use it, you're going to realize it's not going to hurt you. You might hurt yourself with it, but it's not going to hurt you. It's never going to hurt you or anyone else as long as you don't initiate it. And once they get over that, they're
I mean, with the training thing too, one thing to also keep in mind is it's kind of a double-edged sword. You can easily get good training, but once again, another thing that I've seen is for every one decent trainer, there's at least 10 assholes who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're teaching all their friends and girlfriends how to get hurt with a firearm.
Oh, it's funny.
I think that
it's funny, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos out there too of people not being as super responsible and stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah, I mean you can find them all over YouTube. There's millions of views on the YouTube video where they watch this girl get smacked in the face by a desert eagle.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I know Yankee said he had to go in a few minutes. So
I'm sorry.
Wrap up with him because he said he had to go. He was waiting for his phone, his Bluetooth to charge up or whatever earlier.
Yep.
So I just want to say thank you for being on the show, Yankee.
No problem.
Anytime you want to come on and talk, we'd love to have you.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, take care.
Nice talking with you.
Cheers.
So, Pete, we want to move on and talk with you too about all the cool stuff you got going on with the new range that's being built.
How's it going, Pete?
Hey guys, how are you?
So
good.
These guys, we didn't get to do the proper introductions ahead of time because of how things worked out tonight. But we got Patrick from One Shot Kill It Media, who's got a YouTube channel as well, and then Jake from State Farm. No, Jake from MGS Firearm.
I didn't wear khaki though.
Yeah. I know we had a lot of conversation going on there about that with Yankee with the self-defense stuff and everything. I know you have a law enforcement background as well. We could start with talking about that, I guess, a little bit. What are some of your thoughts, Pete, about as far as regular civilians and self-defense training and things like that?
So I want to come out of the closet tonight. I'm a reformed anti-concealed carry guy. One of the things I said in Illinois, obviously, we have a little bit of a different situation in the metro Chicago area. And at one time I thought, some of the people in Chicago having more guns is probably a mistake. However, I'm reformed, and after all these theater shootings and school shootings and all this other nonsense, I told my wife the other day, you and our daughter are going to learn how to shoot once and for all. I never pushed it before, but more good people with good training carrying guns is better for society, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I would agree with that. I mean, the truth is that bad guys are going to get guns regardless.
Exactly.
I mean, if anything, what the 30+ years of fighting the drug war has taught us that. Guns are not complex, devices. It's really, honestly, anyone with a proper machine shop could make a gun. So it's guns are going to exist regardless of what you do. The only thing that happens when you start making more laws is you make it more restrictive for law-abiding people to actually have means to defend themselves.
Of course, the people that abide by the rules. It's not the others that are going to abide by the rules and say, what I think is well, and I don't think it's anything brilliant, but people are going off right now. And I think, Rick, you posted about the police officer that was shot today up in the northern suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, Patrick.
It's turning into the 70s again. In the neighborhood I grew up in Chicago, there was cops getting shot about once a week, or at least shot at once a week in some of the areas. And this lack of respect, permeating society. It's time for the good people to defend themselves.
Seems to be that there's a boiling point nowadays where, with all the, kind of like the unjust shootings and stuff like that get the most media attention, and everybody thinks every single officer is out there doing that sort of thing. And it's unfortunate, because all of a sudden you go from being like a regular cop that's just out there trying to help people out, and now you're public enemy number one, really, is the way people look at it. They're just waiting for you to slip up and do something or say something the wrong way, and then all of a sudden it's like it's justified to, see a dead cop.
It seems like it is a very tough time to be an officer, for sure.
And think about it. Whenever I was getting gas, and to this day, I strategically place my car with my door open, facing the gas station in case there was an armed robbery. And we've talked to our guys over and over again, be prepared for this kind of stuff. You're pulling in thinking you're going to get a Slurpee or a coffee or something, and all of a sudden some dude comes running out with a sack of cash and a sawed-off shotgun. You've got to be prepared for that. And even for all of us in the civilian world now, we should all be prepared for the guy that wants to get your wallet while you're pumping gas, or the guy that comes running out of the gas station after just having robbed it.
Yeah, it only takes once. One-time situation can be the end of it all for you, and I don't think a lot of the anti-gun people out there realize that. It's 911 is not just a call away. You know what I mean? There's plenty of times in your life where it's up to you and you only.
Well, part of the truth too is that you find that a lot of the anti-gunners, it's not even that they care that 911 isn't just a call away. They find humility and justification in being a victim. They embrace victimhood.
Right. That is kind of true.
Absolutely.
Did you guys see that there was a video the other day, I think, from Tim Larkin? I don't know how old it was. It was a TED Talk, but it was called The Paradox of Violence, I believe.
I had not seen it.
It's a good watch if you get a chance to take a peek at it. One of the things he says in there, kind of the tagline is, violence isn't always the answer, but when it is the answer, it's the only answer.
That's right.
Just very interesting. I definitely recommend watching that if you get 15 minutes to sit back and check it out.
Before we talk about the range, do you want to mention anything about a little bit of your background as far as the law enforcement stuff, what you did and everything?
So I was blessed. My guardian angels were working full-time when I was applying for various police departments, and I was hired by the Illinois State Police. I started when I was 23, spent 26 and a half years there, and retired when I was 50. A good part of my career I spent in our SWAT program. Was blessed again to get selected to go there. At one point, my last stop there was I was the statewide commander, and I think the Illinois State Police has a fantastic program, and we've got really great people that participate in it, and some of my greatest friends to this day. So I ended my career. I was the commander of District Chicago my last just about 4 years, and District Chicago is covers all of Cook County. In just a fantastic group of people. And I think, we all say, when men were men, I've seen the department go downhill. When I left, we were hiring some fantastic people that liked being the police, that were, into it and making the world a better place, in my opinion.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually got to meet one of your guys too the other day when I was out there checking out the site for the new range.
The Samurai, one of the greatest operators in state police SWAT history.
Yeah, he's super nice guy. I like him. I'm hoping to shoot with him sometime soon too. I know he's got a lot to offer and to learn from. As well.
He's still a great operator and a great shooter and a fantastic person as well. That's cool. Knows a lot more about guns than I do.
So I'll show them too. Is we're talking about the range. I'll bring up I'll screen share your Facebook page here to kind of show off some of these the images and everything. So I don't know. You guys actually see this now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, there you go. So
I've seen the pictures popping up in the news feed lately. So anytime I see him, I try to give him a like on there. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
It is really cool. I mean, I was out there yesterday, and they were not quite this far along with the progress at that point. They were finishing up the first ball.
Maybe when we get our travel papers in order, we'll come into your state and visit.
Exactly. Bring up papers.
Nice.
And don't forget to change your money at the border as well, guys. I always do that when I come here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hey, Rick, could you go back for a second?
Yeah, let me see if I can bring up which one you want to see.
If back to the actual post with the verbiage on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, guys, if you'll notice there, that last sentence, I'm proud that it was a crash-free drone day.
Nice.
Right. Yes, Pete's got a pretty awesome drone. I took a picture of it. I think I posted it someplace not too long ago, either on his page or somewhere, but you'll see it. You know, he's out there flying the drone around, checking out the building, taking pictures and videos and everything, and it's pretty cool. We were out there. He had an issue with the battery, though, and had to do emergency landing. I tell you what, the thing almost doubles as a weed whacker. The blades are just chopping off.
Yeah.
You know,
it chopped a tree down, I think.
Pretty much, a small tree.
What kind of drone is it, Pete?
It's a unique Typhoon Q500. A classmate of mine, actually we're in the same squad in the academy, is now CEO of a drone company, Homeland Surveillance and Electronics, and he gave me some good advice on which one to buy. I wanted a controller that I could see the drone flying and see when the battery indicator is low, but I didn't pay attention to that, you guys, until we crashed it. Yeah.
See, I got to bring that up, man, because I had a drone. Well, I have a drone too, but the damn thing is always in for repair because I've had so many electronic issues with it so far. It was the DJI Phantom 2 Vision Plus, and
DJI's a
great camera. Yeah,
they put the GoPro on it, and it's a great drone. You know, it's probably one of the most common that's out there on the market right now. The only reason I went. You know, I took this friend of mine's recommendation. It's got a gimbal camera on it. It stays really stable.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
And that rascal flies pretty good.
Nice. I'd love to learn more about that too. If you and your friend have any more information, you can send my way because I'm looking. I mean, just to be honest with you, I'm looking to replace mine because I just don't know if maybe it's like I got a lemon or something from the factory, but the time frame for repairs and replacement on anything from them is usually about 2 months, and as we all know in the Midwest, that means about all the good weather you possibly have. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's spring, summer, and fall right there, all in one. Yeah, check out Homeland Surveillance and Electronics link. In my classmate's name is Dale King, and he was the one that gave me sage advice and actually gave me tips on flying it. I just didn't pay attention to the battery indicator.
No, you did pretty well with it, honestly. I mean, you didn't really have much of an issue other than that with the battery, but, you know, that happens sometimes. You don't catch something, little small thing, and, you know, catastrophe, but luckily it was averted. Yeah. That thing's pretty cool. I mean, it's set up where it'll only come within, well, you can change the defaults and parameters, but, you know, 30 feet of you?
Yeah, the way I've got it set right now is default no farther than 300 feet away from you. Thank God when I crashed it. And no closer than 30 feet, so that you don't, you know, weed whack your hair or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, but yes.
You got a beard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess that counts. So, yeah, no. Speaking of that, if you know, Patrick, your drone is still out, or is it up and functional?
It's still out. I have another burnt out motor. I've had 2 of these motors that burnt out so far, so I think I probably, from the time that I bought it, I've split time with actually being able to use it and having it in for repair.
Wow.
So that's why I'm looking for other stuff.
I was going to say, if you had it in time, you know, I know you're coming out to the 3-gun match.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect place to bring it, to play with it, because we're allowed to fly the drones and record stuff out there. Jake,
I was thinking the
exact
same thing.
I am coming, yeah.
Did you get in on our squad?
What was that? Yeah, I think I'm in your squad. I'm bringing myself and Brian, who makes the custom holsters.
Awesome.
So still figuring out what guns we want to bring. I'm thinking probably Scar 17 and Scar 16. We got a tricked out Patrick Flanagan 930 SPX, and I want to shoot that Strike 1.
Yeah, that's cool.
For handgun.
Well, it's gonna be a fun time. If you got in on stage or on Squad 3, you're gonna be shooting with me, Barry from Bad Arms, and Jason Curlow is gonna be on our stage as well. So that's gonna be an awesome group of people to hang out with. We'll get some good video and stuff. So I think that.
So basically, what you're saying is I gotta pull extra weight.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, shooting wise.
Oh, you gotta do really well, basically, because it's gonna be filmed. Yeah. You expect it? Sure. No, it's all for fun, you know.
Match pressure.
Yeah, exactly. It has a little more pressure to it. We gotta get Pete to come out with us too one day.
No, just watch, dude. I'm gonna shoot horribly and.
I know we've talked. Pete's gonna be sponsoring the November match as well, actually, because we're waiting because the range with the weather, right? Pete, you guys were delayed a little bit with the building construction with all the rain and everything we had this summer.
Yeah, 2.5 month delay, pretty much, and some soil issues exacerbated by Mother Nature with the rain and everything.
Yeah, because you were going to do September originally, and then with all that, we're like, yeah, let's push it back. Cause
who's building the actual range for you?
So we have a company out of Arlington Heights called O'Malley Construction. So there are general.
No, I mean who's building the range? Yeah, no.
Action Target.
Okay, yeah, they built a range up here by us quite recently.
And I saw pictures of it, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's really. We filmed a lot of our YouTube videos at that range. Yeah, it's a pretty decent facility.
So that's where that's at.
Yeah,
I have seen that.
Is it 20 lanes, guys, or how big is it?
No, it's 10. They have 5 like standard, and then they have 5 premium. Basically, they just have the more advanced target carriers that with the lights.
Exactly.
You can programmable. Yeah.
Ours, we have 16 lanes, so 2 8-lane ranges, and one of them has a little bit more advanced controls. Yeah. We actually, if you look, when you see the pictures that Rick was putting up before, we have 28-foot high panels. We have a second floor above our retail area, which has a couple of lounges, classrooms, things like that. And there it is. So you can see some of the pictures. You can see this one on the upper left. Over to the right, you can see the bigger windows. That's our classrooms. But so it's 28 foot high above the range as well. And we hope that we're going to be able to add more lanes down the road.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to have the option. And you guys also are talking about even having like a little cafe or something inside too, right?
Working on that right now, right?
I know a lot of it's all in planning and stuff, so we can't go into too much, but
yeah, that's like the new thing to kind of do the total destination range.
Right.
I mean, obviously, like you're going to have overflow, so while people are waiting, why not get more of their money while feeding them?
Exactly.
Well, not just the money, but just as a more enjoyable experience. Sure.
We're going to have signs saying "Get back down into the retail area," but
no, I'm not even. No, it's actually it is really smart. Like there was a place out in Virginia, I think they call it, I don't even remember what the place is called, but it was the whole idea. It had like premium lanes, it had like a cigar lounge, it had restaurants in it. It's just like the idea of building this like total destination shooting experience. And I mean, if you have the capital to do it, it's brilliant. Yeah.
And the best part, sorry, I interrupted you to say the best part is that there's no shooter gets left behind at your new facility too, because it's fully handicap accessible, and you got an elevator inside too.
That's cool.
And we're lucky because we've gotten to go to school on ranges that have been around for a long time, and the whole model's changed, like you guys are saying. Now it is kind of that destination. They have lounges and all that stuff, and
do you guys have do you have a no sky range?
A what? No.
Well, I don't know what they Action Target sold to you, but it's like it's basically so you can actually have like people going onto the range and basically shooting down, like moving, and it's like basically the idea is that the direction of the panels, the ballistic panels, there's no possibility of a bullet actually exiting.
Ours is
basically.
Ours
go ahead.
It's not fully tactical, but we have a concrete ceiling, 4-inch concrete ceiling.
Yeah. Like Spancrete?
Well, it's actually poured in place. So if
okay.
We do have steel baffles to protect it. So we do plan on doing some, at least 2-gun, and doing some shooting and moving. We've got a lot of interest from people that want to do holster work. We want to be a little bit different. we're all shooters. Everybody that's going to be working there are shooters, and we've got competitive shooters. We want to be able to let people work out of holsters. We want to be able to let people shoot on the move. But those will obviously be sessions that we set up in advance and let people sign up for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because the last thing you need is just some random schmo who paid for an hour range time to text Grebner himself on your range.
Yeah, exactly. That would not be good.
Exactly.
Everyone is familiar with Tex Grebner, correct?
Yeah, and even with I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay, we'll get it back.
Yeah, even with rapid fire stuff, we kind of some of the guys that'll be working with me, we kind of chuckle about rapid fire. Now I realize, especially after talking to Yankee, with some people probably shouldn't be doing rapid fire, but we're going to say, shoot under control. If you want to do rapid fire, as soon as you start taking chunks out of the place, then you're done. So
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, particularly when you have a new, nice, high-end facility, you're going to get pissed off when they start shooting the hell out of it.
Yeah, people don't always.
And I mean, honestly, you're going to need ROs because that's the only way you can actually keep people from doing that.
Yeah, and we definitely, hey, like we all say, safety first, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You can't
it's just keeping people. I mean, as long as the bullets are going down range, people are typically safe as long as it's like a good range. But I mean, just like to make sure that they're like beating the hell out of your facility. Yeah, I mean, there's.
I was just gonna say sorry.
I mean, there's a lot of people who honestly they probably couldn't even shoot themselves if they tried. So.
Yeah, the fun stops when you put a 45 in your pocket. Fast, but it still hurts.
Nice.
Oh man.
So yeah, we have lots to look forward to here, and it's the best possible location I would say you could find anywhere around our area to have this opening up.
We're excited to make the trip down too.
Yeah.
It's we definitely want to stop in and kind of see what the progress looks like, and then like Big Gunner was saying, if we can get a group together to kind of start getting things kicked off and maybe just do some cross promotion for you to get the word out in the Midwest, I think it'd be a good thing.
We'd love to have you guys come down and be our guest.
Yeah, we were talking about basically just putting like a little
you.
range day session type thing for a couple of YouTubers and get some video out there. Exactly.
You guys have seen Rick Loden, so he said he'll provide the ammo.
Nice. That sounds great.
We'll have to talk to our friends at Eggleston Munitions and see if we could get them to help chip in some projectiles for that, I guess.
There we go.
Exactly.
But yeah, so anyway, I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to discuss. This is going to be pretty cool. The range, like I said, 355, it's going to be out in Bolingbrook. You can check out their, your website's not up yet, actually, but isn't it going to be the range at 355.com?
It'll be range355.com. And if you type in the range at 355, range at 355, the range 355, or range 355, that sounded kind of redundant.
So any combination of range and 355,
Yeah.
we'll get it.
It'll be good to go.
Exactly. And we had the site up, and I was our own worst critic. I took it down because I wasn't happy with it. You get one chance to do it right, so.
Right. I totally understand that, and of course we can still find you on the Facebook too. You got nice page there with a lot of pictures and stuff of everything that's kind of coming, and that's a really great source for for people to check out as well for more information and everything and to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I love the interaction and the harassment just because I took down some trees and weeds yesterday. Actually, I'm being serious. It is fun to see what people have to say, and you know what? People are weighing in on what they want to see in the range. And
right.
As a shooter, we feel the same way, and we don't know it all not by a long shot. So the people that frequent outdoor and indoor ranges are a great help to us to let us know how to steer this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to talk to your customer base with the social media and help get the word out. That's why I wanted to try to help promote you guys as much as possible. You're right, 5 minutes away from me.
Generally, I'm just going to say, generally when I go to a range, as long as I can shoot a gun in a given direction and have zero risk of homicide, that's a good range.
That's a good range session. We don't kill yourself or somebody else, right?
And black on too. Yeah. Like, it's nice to be able to breathe some good air, and we're kind of lucky. We have Carrie's small range ventilation here right in Tinley Park.
I thought you were gonna say you had canaries in a cage.
You guys know that would be the first thing to get shot.
Fire! Get out of here!
Oh, wow. That's funny though. But
well,
yeah.
Speaking of homicides, I just literally today I just did like a one-take quick video on the new whatever it takes. What do you call it? The new Every Town for Gun Safety, bullshit.
Oh yes, I almost forgot. Let me pull it up for you.
So,
I'm sorry.
So I just wanted to mention that though, because like you said with the homicides, one of the first things I put in there was just that the fact that since 1993, Americans have bought 170 million new firearms, and homicide rates have decreased by 53%. So it's just kind of funny, you know what I mean? It's some of that stuff you bring it up, and it's just like, look, they're not looking at the real facts. So
I pulled up your video here so people can actually see it too a little bit, but you can then go check out your YouTube channel for the whole thing and watch it. But yeah, this is very interesting, so I wanted to get this out there as well to kind of show that off.
That's cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you showing it.
No problem. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. I'm glad you brought it up because I wanted to bring it up right towards the end of the show here, so it was perfect timing.
Nice.
But yeah, it was well put together. I love your facial expressions as you're holding the cards. That's hilarious.
I like how you subtly managed to tell people that they should follow and share.
Yeah, it's all subliminal.
That's right. That's the CyberLink Power Director software. They have that in there as a template. Yep. I just didn't realize you could do it as an overlay like that, and that's pretty cool. So I learned something from your video too, as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, lots of cool tricks with that software, and it's a lot of the times I don't try to overdo it, that sort of stuff, but to me, I'm just looking at that whole thing as it's just a parody of what the anti-gun groups are trying to do. So I'm just like, fuck it. Everybody like my page and forget this other BS.
Yeah, exactly. I like the hashtags because utilizing the hashtags against the anti-gunners and using it to help promote, the Second Amendment type stuff, I think that's a great way to work it. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I want to start promoting the hashtag. Hashtag don't give an inch.
There you go.
Not gonna go there. So anyway,
I will say, take a girl shooting though. That one we're still working on, but that's for fun. It has a purpose.
Hashtag symbol. So anyway, hang on a second. We'll go ahead and end the show. I just want to say again, thank you to our sponsors, BAT Arms. You can check them out, batarms.com, and Eggleston Munitions at egglestonmunitions.com. And thank you again, Pete, for being on the show. And
my pleasure, guys. It was definitely a pleasure hanging out.
You could hang on for a minute.
Yeah.
And Patrick and Jake, as always, thank you for being on our panel today. You guys are
Patrick and Jake, cheers, man. Come on down, and we'll get some trigger time.
So
absolutely, looking forward to it. Good to meet you.
Until next time, guys, go out and have some fun shooting.
Thanks, man.